So that way you can do that. But so uh, the thought that I wanted to share with you was the Zoom call I just got off of is almost the exact same scenario where there is a syndicate of investors, right?
Yep.
And that can be done either as a formal LLC that we put together as an investment group, and everyone has the way it would work. It would be up to 10 people. No one has more than 10%, right?
Yes, sir.
And opportunities for investment are then presented, and then people just participate in the ones that they want to participate in,
Hmm.
and not on the ones that they don't, right? But of course, if you don't participate, then you don't get any benefit from the proceeds of what's been sold.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so to give you an example, the gentleman that I'm working with down in McKinney, Texas, are building a building that's $10 million, and so they're going to put together that through their syndicate they're going to raise $3.5 million, and that could be whether that's through 5 people or through 10 people, and then they take that and they go to the bank and get the loan to build the building,
Hmm.
right? And then the partners all participate in the revenue, right? So the structure that they're building will probably do somewhere between 100 and 120,000 per month. And so after you take out debt service and employees, it'd probably be somewhere in the net profit of 35 to 45,000 per month, which isn't bad if you only got 4 or 5 people invested. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
And so we talked about primarily in residential real estate, or maybe would even consider some commercial real estate, that we could do the same thing in with people that you already know. So uh, I apologize. I was trying to put together a couple of properties that I found just recently. Uh,
Hmm.
that they're on my phone, but they're not on my computer, so I don't know how to share that. I had to be a tech guy like Jay to know how to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we found 3 properties in the last 2 days in the Shores and the Marion Oaks. So one of them, just to give you an example, has been vacant for about 5 years, but it's a 1,400 square foot single family. It's a 321, and it's on a third of an acre, right? So that would be something that we would probably go in and offer somewhere between 100 and 120. Comps in the area, if we were to add, fully renovated, we'll put that in the 229 to 240 range. So the idea would be, if that was something that we were interested in, then we would go out there with our subs and we would walk through it and say, okay, even if you bought the house for 105 or 110, it's going to look like it'll take 60,000 to fix it.
Hmm.
And then we make the decision from there, right? So we say, okay, 160,000, and we can sell it for 240 on the upside. So there's 80,000, minus closing, we walk away with 70 to 72,000. Is that enough? And then the group just decides, yeah, that's good. We can do that, or no, that's not enough, right? And then we just move forward based on that. And the way that we're don't have to worry about SEC or any type of fintech regulations is that anybody in the group can bring an investment to the group. If it was just me and I was bringing it to the group, then I would have to have all of my series license through the SEC. It's like
Hmm.
I'm being a broker. But if we're just a consortium of people who invest in things together, right? Don't even have to have any type of licensure whatsoever.
Okay.
Yep. And so that just gives the flexibility. And then the other side of it, which you and I discussed the other day, is right now we know how starved Ocala is for houses under 250. and we could actually build, right? Because if one of the lenders that we work with, let's say this house is going to cost us 160,000 to build, he would only require 20% down. So that's, $32,000. Well, if there's four of us, that's less than 10 grand each. But the upside to it, of course, is that one, it's a brand new product. So we're not going to have the surprises that we do when we do renovations, right?
Mm-hmm.
The house that we're renovating right now up in Anthony, we're probably $40,000 over budget from just surprises,
Yeah.
right? But when you build, that's not the case. So you look, so let's say we did the same strategy that DNS development did over in West Ocala. So we buy a lot from the city for 5 grand. We put in the 160 grand to put the house in it. So we're at it at 165. We sell it for 249. But since it's in West Ocala, it qualifies for an affordable housing grant. So after the property is built, when we get the CO from the city, the certificate of occupancy, we get $20,000. You see, so we made 80 grand on the sell of it, and then we get another 20 grand. So you see what I mean? That much
Right.
more profitable than rehabbing one.
Right.
And it's just really just a matter of, again, how many people you want to have involved in that. Because now if we profit in between 85 and 90,000 and there's four of us, that's a good payday, right? You get all your money back in another 17 grand. But if there is, 10 of us, not so much. Right?
Right.
So that's really the thing that we want to look at first is how many people we want to have involved, and then what is their comfort level as far as investments. Because another scenario is I have right now a bank relationship where there's two houses that she has that are getting ready to go into foreclosure. And we could have the opportunity to buy them as a short sale before they get to foreclosure. Because once they get to foreclosure, it's they put it out and they bid it out.
Right.
But we could bid it at a short sale. So like for example, one of them is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage, and it actually has a pool, and it's with the bird cage over it and all of that, and the owner got into some financial problems, and he only owes 210, but the house is worth 350 all day. Okay, I mean all day. So we go to the bank and say, hey, listen, this is what we'd like to do, right? We'd like to offer you 195. And for them, what they recognize is that their legal costs of taking it through the foreclosure process is more likely that they would end up selling it for less than that. So they would be more inclined to take the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But they do now. The only downside with short sales is that the person usually has a reclamation period of about 72 days or so. They do give them a chance to get their money to get up the money themselves. But after that, outside of that, then we can close the sale.
Okay.
And so I'm just saying that I gave you those three examples as ways that the group can decide, hey, this is what we'll go after, right? I mean, everybody likes the idea of tax deeds and tax lien sales and all those kind of things, but everyone knows about that, right? Just go to one of the auctions and you'll see about
Yeah.
30 people. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So I guess, I mean, again, like you say, it's just what, as far as what's the process for, like you, I just want them to hit like the process for, so let's say if they wanted to, if it was 7 of us or 10 of us that said we want to be a part, what's the process for the first five to be a part of the first project? Like, what's the?
Yep. So we could set up an investment group, right? Not doesn't even have to be a company. It can just be an investment group, because the idea is, like I said, it's called a syndication. It's only the ones who want to participate. So it could be more than 7 or 8. It's just that whoever brings the deal. So Eddie, you run across a great deal down in the shores, and you send out an email to everybody. Guys, here's the breakdown. The house is 210,000. It's got a pool. We can put it. It's a short sale. It'll probably take us 4 months to close it because they're gonna allow that person a certain period of time to reclaim it before they
Mm.
actually allow us to buy it. But what we need to secure this is 40 grand, right? So one person says, "Hey, I'll put up 10," and another says, "I'll put up 5." "Hey, I'll put up 2." Once we get to the 40 grand, then you send another email that says, "Okay, guys, we got the 40, we're good." So that means no one else can participate. So it's a first come first serve, right? And that really does allow for more flexibility because life happens. If we sign a formal and start a formal LLC, then we have to put that 40 grand in. And let's say for some reason one of the partners uh, can't come up with his share, then that causes a problem, right? Somebody else has to come up with that difference. But being a partner, they still would be able to participate in the revenue that's dispersed after, right? And that's always going to cause problems.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we do it from the syndication piece, when we do the PSA, purchase sale agreement, then all of our names would be on it. You see what I mean? All of the ones who participated. And
Yeah.
that's as much legal documentation as we need.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So that, like I said, so that way, if something happens to your funds, you're not everybody not all up in your face going, we ain't giving you no check. Well, there's no way you can do that if they're a partner.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got any questions, Bobby? I see you on here. You got any questions?
Yeah, yeah, I got a couple questions.
Sure.
So with the signature, who the one who's gonna manage it? So you talk about everybody putting the money in the bucket once the deal come on the table. So who's gonna be the one managing uh the operation per se? Is it something that the group chooses or what?
Yeah, we can absolutely choose it because there's really and so I'll add this in before somebody else asks the likelihood of there being more than one realtor in the group is pretty high in the town of like Ocala because it seems like everybody and their brother a realtor, right? So maybe in the agreement that we have with one another is that no one takes commission, that it all goes into the pot.
Yeah.
And so as far as the administrative part of it goes, it's can be done. It's got to be done by a broker. Okay. Yeah, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do that. So whether it's my partner or Eddie's broker or whomever, and they get a fee for that. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be one of us unless one of us was a broker.
So pretty much every group gotta have a broker.
Have to have access to one, right?
Asset to one, but it'd be better to have one inside the group.
And so what I would suggest is that we use a third party, right? So if the four of us found something that we want, we would use an outside broker. We wouldn't use my partner, and we wouldn't use Eddie because that wouldn't be fair to you. Because since he's my partner, I still get a percentage of his fee. And since Eddie is under a broker, he's going to get a percentage of that broker's fee. So he really got more than you did, even though you put in the same amount of money, right? So we'll just use somebody from the outside.
And that makes sense about the LLC because you go in, you gotta predetermine the percentage. So even if somebody that's I'm thinking, don't even work on it till I get there. But so pretty much it does like a timeline or well not a timeline, a deadline. Oh, when I say deadline, expected or suggested deadline to come up with a group to get it started,
Yep.
or is it just okay? There's like a
So
so what?
so so really there's nothing that prevents it from just starting tomorrow, to be honest with you. So like I was just saying that, so let's say I forward you guys those three houses that my guy, see, I got a spotter, right? My spotter, he's out and about every day. And whenever he finds these houses that are boarded up or something like that, he just sends it out to me, and if we end up doing something with him, I compensate him for doing that. But so let's say I send out the 3 that I've sent tomorrow, and you guys look at it and say, oh man, so can we go and look at that? We get together, we go walk around it, see if we can find who the owner is. If we can, then see if we can walk through it. If not, then we kind of make a decision based on what we can glean from walking around it. And then let's say that Eddie has 7 people that have mentioned that they were interested. He sends out a group email to everybody and say, hey guys, here's 3 houses we looked at. These 2 right here are wreck up for the neck up, so we ain't gonna mess with it. But this one right here looks pretty decent. Like we can get in, maybe put down 20, 30,000 and get it done. So from that, the group, whoever wants to participate, just responds to the email. All right. And then when we will write up the offer with everybody's name, and then we'll have 7 to 10 days to put the money in escrow. And that's how we know you're serious, right? And then from that point forward, it moves like any other transaction. But the good part is one of the lenders that we use most here in town, he'll not only loan us the money to buy it, he'll loan us the money to repair it if it's something that we need to remodel. And the cool part is, by us doing it like that, we can have he's just going to loan the money to the entity, not to any of us. So there's no personal guarantees, or there's no anything that's going to ding your credit or anything like that.
And who's the entity? Are you referring to the syndicate?
Yes.
Yes.
And like I said, to me, that just keeps it friendly. And then once what usually will happen, we'll find that there's the same 3 or 4 of us that do it all of the time, and then we'll go ahead and create so and so investment company, right? And then let the company borrow money from that point forward.
Yeah.
But until we find it, it, like I said, it just keeps it friendly. If you don't have the capital, just don't get in. But if you do, you do, right? And then but the idea being that we don't want anybody to dominate either, right? So we would agree to, hey, the most you can put in is 20% of the deal, right? So that we don't want people bogarting either. And I'm not saying that anybody that you would bring would do that, but money changes people. Okay. When they see an opportunity to grab hold of something, they might be, well, what if I give the whole 40,000? Well, no, that's not what this is about. This is about us building collective wealth.
Gotcha. You got any more questions, bro?
Not right now. Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now.
Jay, you got a question? He might be able to talk to Jamie.
Tell Jay he just need to figure out how to get Dr. Rulon to sell us that house.
That's it, ain't it?
That's a gorgeous crib, man.
Yeah. Well, nah, I appreciate it. I know some of the other fellas. I know one for sure. Told me that he was going to be busy tonight.
Yeah.
The other, that's why I said we could record it. I send it to him.
Yep.
Like you said, I mean, Jay, if you could hear me, bro, like Miss Keller said, if it's us four that's on here now, hey, it's if it makes sense, then I know we could just run it like this. It was just an opportunity. Well, when he presented the opportunity, it was something that I was like, okay, well, I knew a group of people that I felt were investors or wanted to invest, would want to invest, and this was that opportunity to take it. So again, if it makes sense, bro, after this, I guess just we could follow up with a text me or response an email. I let Mr. Carlock know, and then we just.
So why don't you can start a group email, right? And then just email out. And then what I'll do is I don't have a problem sending you the 3 that we found, because the one nice thing about rehab or foreclosure starting out is that it's not as intensive as it is to build. If you've never built before, sometimes it's kind of like, why is this taking so long? Because the plumbing permit people are behind or the electricians are behind. Whereas if it's a building that's already up, we're just going to walk through it and see how much work it needs. And then everybody can kind of get their feet wet. We can kind of navigate each other and see, because the one undeniable thing is that Ocala is a city that's growing really fast, and there's a lot of stuff that is missing. And so we could start off with just doing residential stuff, but maybe move into commercial. And here's why I say that. Like, for example, Eddie, have you ever been to a Fat Tuesdays?
Well, that's the one in Gainesville. I was there in Gainesville.
Okay, so you realize those slushy machines are only about $4,000 each, right? We could, as a consortium of people, open up a little spot, 900 square feet, with 6 of them machines, and that thing would do 20 grand a month. Okay, and
Yeah.
ain't nothing like that in this town, so it would be packed all the time, right? So once we know each other, we can kind of move or widen the circle of things that we invest in, is what I'm
Right.
saying.
I
Right?
got you.
Because this town is just missing so many things. And so we can use the residential piece as our foundational, right? We say, hey, 60% of our income will come from that. But we can also make money on the fact that, I live over here in Heathbrook, and they're building all of those 2,100 houses over there in Winding Oaks, and there's still only one dry cleaner. There's still only one daycare center. There's still only one. There's nowhere from 200, the interstate, all the way up to the Super Walmart, which is 11 miles. There's not a single place to shoot a game of pool. Nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see what I'm saying? So as our relationship builds, maybe we grab a little spot, we put 6 or 7 tables in there, and,
Right.
and like that. And so that is my goal. I want to see more of us taking advantage of the growth in this town. Where all we do is just watch stuff go up and say,
Mhm.
man, I wish that was me. Well, no, it can be us, right? But
Right.
we start off with a few successes in the residential piece. That same lender, once we've done 3 deals with them, gonna give us any money we want, as long as we paid him back on time, and he didn't have any hassles. We get what we want. And then that allows us to really spread out and have an opportunity to make some real money.
Okay. I like it. I tell you, I was on board. I said, hey, let these fellas see what they thinking, and they
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So
What's
yeah.
the
So
average turnover time? Once you found a place, four people, let's say four people agree.
yep.
Um, they got the money gets put in extra. From
Yep.
that point, what's the turnover time where once the money needed extra, buy the property get ready for sale, and the money gets back? I will assume once to sell the property, the money goes back in the extra. I mean, after you pay off the banks, the profit go back to the extra. What's that cycle? Like how long would that take?
Yep. So depending on if we do, even if we do a new build, right? You
Right.
you, you figure that's gonna take 8 months. It's gonna take 8 months, right? And that's why I said it's probably better to start with the reno, because a reno is more likely going to take 120 days, and we're done, right? And so what happens with the type of lender that we'll use, he's only going to give us a year on the loan,
Right.
right? And the interest rates, not going to be friendly. Let's just be honest. That's how he makes money. But he's also not going to give us all this hassle. We're not going to do the 30 pages of paperwork like if we went through a bank, right?
Right.
It's usually like a couple of pages. I'm not kidding, because he has no downside, right? So his worst case scenario is that we pay him. His best case scenario is he get the house. Okay, so that's why they don't hassle you. So he'll give us a year to pay back. Our goal is always, when we're going to remodel, we walk in and say, can we start and complete this in 120 days? And if we say, well, yeah, that's it. When we make the offer, we'll tell them we're going to do a 45-day close, and then we start working. So the answer to your question is the expectation should be 4 to 5 months. And so what happens is as we get our comfort levels together with one another, we'll just start more than one.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So if we buy one in January and we buy one in February, then that means in June and July, we got 2 months coming right back to back where we cash in. The only time we will have it happen quicker than that is like I said, in cases where we come across foreclosures or short sales because there's
Right.
nothing wrong with the property. So we can list it right back. And then once again, I said if multiple of us are agents, then we just use a third, somebody from the outside, like and let them do it so that there's no squabbling over who got what. But those we turn right straight around. So you're talking about being able to have that money in 60 to 90 days.
Bobby, anything else, bro?
That's all I got for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that PC tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, Eddie. So why don't you set up
But
a
it's all
group,
good.
group email and send it out tonight, and then I'll hit reply all and post the pictures of the ones that my guy found this week.
Okay. Well, how would I can you send me this video?
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as it renders, it'll probably come from I use this email service called Hightail, and it's designed for big files, right? This file will probably be 50, 60 megabytes, and there's no way you can send that. But I'll send it to you through that one. So if you get something from me that says Hightail, it's really me,
Okay.
and it'll be a link so you can watch the video.
Okay. And you say just create an email link.
No, just email, just whatever people that you want to be involved
Okay.
and then that way I can, so, I mean, they can watch the video first. It's up to you. And, or I'll just send those pictures of the spots that we've already found. And
Well,
it'll be one of the ones that we start with, right? I mean, we can start
yeah.
straight away. There's really nothing that prevents it.
So, and that's why I'm thinking, I mean, and if let me know if you feel like I'm moving backwards or slow, but send the video recording out to the ones who are not on here now.
Yep.
There's no receiving, any more information if nobody wants to move forward. So the ones who after they watch the video, then I could, and I guess give them by the end of the week or by Monday or something.
Sure. And I apologize if it sounds like I'm rushing. I'm not. I mean, I just live in a world where we get stuff done, so it's not a whole lot of talking.
I'm with you. It's just one of those.
But yeah, I ain't going nowhere, man. So whenever they're ready, it's fine with me. There's plenty of opportunities out there. We're not going to run out, right? I mean, there's not a fear of something not being there. It's just yeah, we'll go at the pace that they feel comfortable with, and then also let them watch the video, and if they have any questions, they can just and that's why I said to do a group video. A group email. So they just hit reply all, and then everybody can hear the responses that come back from it.
Okay. All right, I got you. That'll work. That'll work. Yes, sir. No, that's good. I appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll go ahead and let this render now, and then I'll send you a link to the video, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Y'all have a great evening.
Yes, sir.